Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna go get water super fast, but go ahead without me. No, go ahead
Yeah, that's
without me.
fine. Yeah, go ahead, Dion.
Went to
Oh,
get
I
a
need to
drink,
change
and
my
then
name.
the shelf fell off my freezer door, so I was like, "Son of a bitch!" So or else there he
I'm
is.
I'm here.
Yeah, Oath is there in time, and I'm getting crosstalk. There we go.
Where am I hearing that? Where am I hearing that? Why do I hear this? I hear this.
So we're here for another first edition Dungeons and Dragons game. Um, Playing through the module L2, Assassin's Knot. Fun. Well, I guess we'll just vamp for a while Dion gets his drink.
Oh, you said vamp, not vogue.
Yeah. I tell you what, we can go ahead and just start with plugs since Christopher's got a big one. Why don't you go ahead and start us off, Christopher?
I don't know how big it is, but starting next week on twitch.tv/alltherepgs, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be putting together a one-page adventure. Subscribers will get all of the adventures free. It'll be one every week. And live viewers will be able to buy in at a discount if they want it. They don't have to do it every week, things like that. And then after that, I'll put it out on 2oggames.com and Drive Through RPG for kind of like a pay what you want with a $1.99 suggested price. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I was going to do for a Patreon, but then I didn't want to split audiences and get more complicated than my life already is. So I'm just going to keep it all on all the RPGs. So that's starting next week. The sessions will be like 12 to 2 Central Time, which is a weird time slot, but the kid's busy even if she's here. So then with virtual school, so it gives me time to do it. Monday will be like map making. Wednesday will be who, what, where, which is, NPCs, encounters, puzzles, traps. And then Friday will be the frame up or basically doing layout in InDesign. And I'll probably learn a whole bunch of stuff about making these tiny little one-page adventures and probably learn some more stuff in InDesign, and we'll see how it goes.
Nice. And who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Quarion Greyleaf, a mashup of two of my actual first edition characters from 1979 and 1980. A very business-oriented Elven Ranger, no nonsense, get on with the job, get things done, and get paid and get drinking or something. I don't know. Get
No
sleeping,
frolicking
maybe.
for that elf.
Yeah, he's not a frolicker.
Oak.
Hey, this is Oak. I will be playing Thybor, the warrior with a very ugly face and lack of charisma.
The lack of charisma is not due to his ugly face.
No, it just kind of accentuates it.
Anything you wanted to plug?
No, about you a shout out, or maybe you'll do it later for Matt's Kickstarter that just went up.
Yeah, we'll plug that all at the end. Friendin.
Hi, I'm Brendan. I draw stuff for tabletop, sometimes for things that would be plugged later, like we were just talking about. And I do it on twitch.tv/Brendan, and pretty much every day of the week. And I'm happy to be here playing Grown Wolf, who's a magic user who has finally passed some stomach, irritable bowel, and indigestion stuff that he had going on. Bert, I can't, however, guarantee that he won't eat something stupid again this session, so just be prepared.
Well, you're now in a place where there are real toilets, so maybe you'll be okay. Jen.
None of those pretend toilets anymore.
No fantasy toilets.
He's
No
just been
fantasy.
hanging his bum over the edge of a ship the whole time,
Hitter the mind toilets is what it is. Hi, I'm Jen. As far as plugging anything goes, that would be, the Kickstarter that Brendan and I are working on for Matt, the manager over at the Twitch manager over at Free League Publishing. Pretty exciting. It's almost funded, which is great. It's like 80-ish, 86-ish% funded, but you should go and take a look at it if you can. We'll link it at some point. Tonight I'm playing Odette of the Lionwood, and she is a Disney princess necromancer. No, druid. Sorry, druid. Disney princess druid. I was like, we'll get there someday.
A little slip there.
Oh, no. She might turn super evil at some point, but we'll do what we do.
Dion.
Hi, I'm Dion. I'm playing NPC, who was a former slave in the Underdark who has regained her freedom and is on her way to become a blacksmith apprentice, in her mind at least. You can catch me on my channel, Twitch TV Substances Used. I do just some video gaming and some other stuff, and yeah, I haven't been very active lately. Bert called me out in the Zoom call before we started, so I guess I need to stream more. So hopefully you'll see me streaming more often.
We were talking about how this was just like a low energy, low productivity day for so many people. I blame it on the weather. But I'm BizLab, Bert. I run a little podcast called Of Steam, Steel, and Murder, now a Twitch stream. And tonight, first edition Dungeons and Dragons. So we find ourselves in a murder mystery. I am just going to do a quick recap of some information you were given. The Baron of Restenford, Baron Grellis, was found murdered yesterday morning, 8 a.m. His bedroom was locked from the inside. There were no signs of struggle. 3 clues were found: a small red ruby, a golden lute string, and a red leather button which was clutched in the Baron's hand. The Restenford castle has been sealed to all outsiders while the Baron's wife and daughter recover from the shock and make for the interment of her husband and what is going to go forward in that town. So you guys are in the town of Garreton, where the clues seem to lead. Here you were approached by a wizard, Peltar, who has a vested interest to make sure that the political situation on this small island is kept at a status quo and doesn't erupt into a whole bunch of shenanigans. You guys met with the ruling body of Garreton. They've given you certain abilities to try and find out what you will, since you are a neutral third party, supposedly. Given the deed to an abandoned home, and given the ability to, ask your questions, find out what you can, and, you can put a few things on the charge card as needed, which Corian quickly took advantage of to get himself a mount, and rented mounts for everyone else. All right, so I will ask you guys now for the 3 clues that were found. Do you remember Peltar had some information regarding the items and who they might belong to? So the red ruby, who remembers who that might belong to?
I do. That might belong to the head clergy member of the Church of Osperum. They apparently have like a necklace of like a idol of a whale that has ruby eyes. And the party had found out through questioning that it is very feasible that although one of the eyes could belong to that whale, that the whale is very easily replaceable. So we're aware of that information currently. We also know that the clergyman was nowhere near the town during the incident
No,
and
he
hasn't
was
hasn't been seen or something like that, or
he was
Go
in
ahead, Jill.
Restenford. Is it Harper? Is his name?
Harper's his name.
Okay,
Yep.
so Harper is because I stopped by the church and tried to get them to indoctrinate me. They don't want me. So which is saying a lot because they're a very small clergy. Harper has been gone in Restenford. He tends to go there for about a week at a time and checks in every so often into the city, which actually weirdly I don't know the name of the city that we're in right now. I don't have that written down.
Garreton.
Okay, so we're waiting, and our understanding is there's a person there who is going to send Harper to our house, which has some weird stuff going on in our house. But yeah, we're waiting on him to return.
Okay. The lute string. Anyone?
Sure, the lute string is believed to belong to the head of the theater, who is also known to have a lute with gold strings, but could totally be a coincidence. Balmorrow, the theater owner.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in Garrotten or Restenford?
Here in Garrotten.
Yeah, I thought so.
All 3 clues led here.
Of course they did. Who else would leave clues to lead somewhere else?
Mhm.
But it's highly suspect because it was like under the bed, and he was he the one seen leaving the gate? Remember seeing both the part when the Baron was found dead.
He
So
was leaving the gate with the beer dude.
beer guy, but they weren't together.
They they left
They
at the
were
same
together?
time together, is what we were told.
Nothing has been verified.
Yep.
Right.
And the red button.
The red button belonged to the beer delivery dude. It was the only item that was actually on the body when found. It was apparently clasped in his hand. Um, and that man was doing a delivery that night, I believe it was, and then was seen leaving with the loot man in the morning
It's
after the
actually the
murder
opposite.
when the body was discovered.
He was purchasing
Oh.
several barrels to be delivered to Garreton.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep, that's it. So yeah, those are the 3 links. Again, the council and Peltar says this is speculation, that he has not been able to verify any of this. Okay.
There's other murders that have apparently gone on here as well, because the house we're staying in supposedly had people die from plague, but a young elf that was in my room, or her room, said that they saw the people killed by people in black cloaks, I believe it was, and then it was set up to try to look like it was the Raiders that did it.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what's up with that yet.
Yeah.
There also seems to be heavy rumor around that because the clergyman said that their bodies were found covered in blood with pustules all over it, and they called it the Hell House, which I appreciated. We live in the Hell House. It's wonderful.
I'm just looking forward to the ability to make a lot of postulation punch.
Oh. But what a better
And-
place for the goth Disney princess to reside.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And there have also been 3 barons in the last 5 years in Restonford, meaning that's a bad job to have.
Nice. All right, so the strangulation of the Baron happened Sunday, body found Monday morning. You arrived here early Tuesday after repelling a raider raid, which apparently during this season is pretty typical. Happens a lot. Okay, so after last session, you kind of just got the lay of the town. There's now a key on the map telling you what the buildings are. You have visited some, not others, so let's pick it up as it's rolling into evening. Same day, Tuesday. I forget, had people gone back to the base and Thyber introduced the new roommate?
I had been out at the docks getting some of that stuff ready, but after that, I would have headed back to the house because I thought my day was done and I could use a rest.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think I was out with Curry, and so I guess when he gets back is probably when I get back.
I was at the blacksmith's next door still because I had pulled out the jar of glow shrooms to give us a light so we could keep working until the blacksmith's done.
And the blacksmith paid you a full amount for what
Yeah.
he would have been paid for doing the work. So he looked pretty appreciative, paid you full amount, and yeah, it didn't really say anything else other than he nodded at your work. Didn't say come back tomorrow. Didn't say not. But
Yeah. I appreciate a man a few words. It's better that way.
all right, so let's say everybody is back at the Hell House. We'll just pick it up from there. So we're going into evening. Maybe there's another hour or 2 of sunlight left in the day.
So, Odette, you have a new guest. I think you should probably talk to them. You might get more out of them than I have.
Sure. I
And
thought this
then-
house was empty.
Apparently, this is a previous occupant who also says that the occupants before her died in a way that we have been told differently.
Okay.
And then I
yeah,
kind of stepped to the side where, my bulking frame, I kind of stepped to the side and she's sitting at the table behind me.
Oh, okay.
She's ferally eating some food that Thyber left out for her, just gnawing on it.
So I would actually probably be a little suspect of this person because hearing that like this place, like there was like a weird plague on the place, and like knowing that it was like unclean, I would probably keep my distance from her.
Sure.
Because that clergyman made it seem like we were probably infected because we lived here.
Now she's grimy. Clothes have been patched several
Perfect.
times over, but there's no noticeable pustules or anything disturbed about her skin.
What is your name?
She kind of looks over Thyber.
This is the one I was telling you about. You can trust her. She's nicer than me.
I'm just disappointed there's no pustules for me to scrape. Put in a jar.
She just kind of looks at you distrustfully while she eats her food and just kind of pulls the food closer to herself.
Do we still have lizards?
Yes. Two
And say
lizards.
if you're nice to this one and talk to her, maybe she'll let you ride her pet lizards. They're really big.
They're really big.
Sounds so wrong.
Call me Thistle.
Thistle. Okay.
Close enough.
She's Elvin.
What was it?
What's that?
What
She's
was it?
Elvin.
Oh, she's Elvin. Okay.
Yeah, Elvin. Yep. So
I
it's
was like,
actually difficult to tell if she's a child or not. It could be a young elf, which could mean 50 years. It's hard to tell.
Would I know as an elf magic user, half elf magic user? Would I? Have a
Possibly.
sense?
You want to make me an intelligence check?
Sure.
I'll say to her in Elvin, what house are you from? Where's your family?
Actually, she will tell you the name of her family and house, but it is not one you're familiar with. Of course, you are in a location you haven't been before. These are islands. It's not the name of a great family or even a minor family you've heard of. How is that compared to your intelligence?
My int is a 16.
Okay. She is a child.
Okay.
She may be 20 to 30 in Elven, but that's a child.
How old is Odette again?
Oh my
Disney
god, I don't
princess,
remember.
if you had to guess. I'm just curious if like she's essentially the same age as you, and I'm like, she's
She's
an infant.
19. Like I'm
Yeah.
19,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah. So she might actually be
Same.
older than you. Yeah.
How long have you been here?
Looks over at Thyber again, looks over at you and says, I'm not really sure. Since the family was killed.
How long ago was that?
I don't know.
Okay. After the family died, were there a bunch of like weird looking people in robes that came and like chanted at the house?
You mean the clerics from the church?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she knows the clerics of the church.
Yeah. They came by. They said the place was unclean, and they put these red signs out front for a while. They were there for a long time, and then they took them down, and they brought people over, like new people to live here, but they didn't want the place.
Do you know
And-
what happened to make them not want the place?
I
Was it
scared 'em.
you?
I
It was
scared 'em.
you. How'd you scare them? What'd you do?
There's crawlways between the walls. I made sounds at night.
I respect that. That's
I also-
ingenious.
I also really respect this.
Yeah.
Same. This is brilliant.
I'm gonna flip her a gold coin.
Oh, it disappears before it hits the table. It's my house. It's my house. I live here.
Do you think we could stay here with you in this house for a little bit?
She looks at the food. She looks at how much she's eaten.
And that
If
coin.
you share food, yeah.
Okay.
Tell her about the ones that came in first originally and made it look like raiders.
Oh, yeah. Men in cloaks. They killed them in their sleep.
What did the cloaks look like?
They're dark, black hoods.
Did they do anything other than like hurt them to kill them? Did they use magic or
She
anything?
does
Or
the
was there anything that
with her finger, just
Oh,
with
so they didn't do
Magic
right.
anything that would
fingers.
like affect their skin or anything?
No, no, no. Why do you ask that?
Hmm.
That's a funny question.
Because Odette, didn't you say that the church had found them a different way?
Yeah, the clerics said that when the bodies were found, they were covered in like pustules and they were very bloody.
This
Yeah,
is two
I heard
crime
that.
scenes
I heard that
where
too. Yeah, yeah. That someone told me that's what the red signs meant. That the house was unclean. Um, yeah.
Mm.
I
But
mean,
you didn't see anything
I
like
don't
that.
tidy up as much as I should, but I mean, I think that's a little harsh to call it unclean. I mean, it's my home.
seems well kept to me.
I asked her
And
how long she's been living with the humans, again in Elvin.
I don't know. Um,
More importantly, I guess, why?
um, I was found at a shipwreck.
Hmm.
Do you remember what happened before the shipwreck, or do you just remember being found?
So she turns and she parts the back of her hair, and you can see an old scar that starts at the bottom of her nape of her neck, goes up over the top of her head. Her hair hides it pretty well.
Oh,
He
Ooh.
says, I don't remember a lot. I forget things
oh,
easy.
Well,
Why
you've been
have
very helpful with remembering things for us today.
why have
So
you not
thank you.
made your way back to your family?
I don't remember where they are.
But you remember their name?
They told my human family told me it was written on some things that were found with me.
You
I
still have those things?
smell a quest.
They took everything.
I smell a lie.
Was they the clergy that
No,
discovered the
no,
bodies?
no. The
Roll for lie
people,
smelling.
the people in the black robes took everything.
Oh,
The people that killed the people in this house?
yeah, yeah. The
Mm.
black robes were the initial party of people that, yeah.
Do you know any other identifying factors of who those people could possibly be that we could find someone or a clue or tattoos, markings,
Would
sigils,
you say they were similar to the
symbols?
robes that the clergy wore that came out and chanted at the house?
No, no, they're dark. Um, Not like she looks around and points at something that's black, right? She says,
Mm-hmm.
"No, they're dark, but not like that. That stands out in the night. More gray, easier to hide in the dark. Um, they were all human. I
Okay.
could smell them.
Were the
Mm.
people murdered human?
Hmm.
Okay. So it wasn't like an extremist thing. Well, in that sense.
This so the family that died, they were the family that took you in.
Hmm.
Did
Do
the
you
family?
do you know
Good.
anything about them? Like was anybody was anybody ever mad at them?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, um, Papa was a fisherman. He's the one who found me. Mama was a baker here. Um, they were both we were both part of the council, town council, um, and they sometimes had ideas that other people didn't like.
Mm.
And that's the out of character. This was the council that we took the job from, right?
You actually don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you actually don't know.
So I'm
Okay.
thinking we might want to ask the council person that hired us if there are any common enemies between this family and the Baron that was just killed to see if we can narrow down that list of suspects ever further. Also, this is the second crime scene where we have clergy present, potentially covering things up or leaving clues. So,
So,
See, my worry is with the council
Yeah.
itself. If they worked for the council, there seems to be a lot of internal struggle amidst the council, even though it's between two towns. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't happen between one town as well. So I don't think we should talk to the council about this. This seems like a really big cover up that is covered up by more than just a
no, I do
clergy.
think internally, like blaming the other town is a great way to off somebody. Um, but I was thinking maybe the one point of contact that hired us might be the person to ask about common enemies.
so she looks to Odette and she says, and she's got like kind of screws her eyes and like she's thinking really hard. She says, "Why is paper more valuable than gold?"
Oh. Do I don't know.
Well, the first men that came in the black robes, they just took paper. Then the church
wanted
took all the gold and
information.
silver
Oh.
and pretty things.
What color was the paper? Was it parchment, or did it have a special color?
Just papers. Dad and Mom had lots of papers, or
Oh.
she would say, Mama and Papa had lots of papers.
So yes. So in just putting my hand on it, just to answer her, like what was written on that paper was probably more important. And also clergy people are very greedy. So the fact that they took the gold is very interesting. And now I'm wondering if they were telling people that it was an unclean house so that they could keep people out of it so they could get the gold.
Yeah, and cover up any information or evidence, if anything.
They took all the papers. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what Mama and Papa did on the council? Like what their jobs were, other than obviously fisherman and baker. Like,
Trading.
okay.
They talked about trading with the other village and with the other islands.
Okay. Okay.
Her food plates are now empty, and she looks over to Thybor.
Mhm.
I see. We'd find something else if we have more. And then I'll give me a big, if we have like some ham or some, a big shank of that, and I'll sit down and eat with her.
Your
Do you
table
know- did-
your table manners are pretty similar.
Did your Mama and Papa have any friends who would come over and visit?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any of them? Remember their names or what they did?
Harper, he was a good guy.
Ooh.
He forgets like I do.
Wasn't Harper mentioned earlier out of character?
Harper is the head of the Church of Osram.
Yep.
Okay, that's
He's the one
interesting.
who's in Restonford who's going to come back to the house to meet us.
And this is the second
Okay.
murder scene where he's directly involved, at least in terms of proximity.
Hmm.
There was Harper. Was there anyone else?
The man that runs the inn,
Okay.
he's got the long beard and the funny hat.
Okay.
And the
Maybe
man
we should.
who talks in big words, but has fun stories.
Eldar.
Maybe we should talk to the innkeeper.
Yeah.
Didn't we
think that
talk
makes
to him
sense.
before earlier in the day? And didn't
Oh,
he
yeah,
seem like
he's
a
my
pretty
pal.
decent person? Yeah, so
No,
maybe
he's totally my pal now.
yeah, maybe you'll want to double down on that tomorrow or something after a good night rest and see if we can come back fresh with some more info. You said also some guy that told stories, or was that the innkeeper?
No, he talks in big words, but he has fun stories, and sometimes he sings with the stories.
Oh.
Mm.
Does he carry an instrument of any kind?
She pantomimes like pulling at strings.
Okay.
Are the strings a certain color?
They're shiny
Okay. Like gold?
sometimes.
Okay.
So I turn to everybody in the party and I say, we cannot let anybody know that she is alive. We have to keep her a
Agreed.
secret.
Yeah, she's the only living witness to either of these crimes.
So she finishes eating the second round of food and just abruptly stands up and says, "I'm tired." Viper, she goes to your room and closes the door.
While she does, I'm gonna like chase after and be like, if anything seems amiss, just go into the walls again. That's a good plan you had.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure she stays alive.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think NPC suggested we get a good night's sleep and then we go meet with Corian's friend in the morning.
In the morning.
I think maybe just Corian, if he already has a repertoire
fair.
with the guy.
That's
If
fair.
too many of us appear to question him, it could draw attention from other people, if we're snooping around together like that in a group. I think somebody else, maybe myself, maybe Grown Wolf could come with me. We want to check with the guards at the gate
Okay.
and like verify information of people that left at certain times that we were told. Because I want to, as much as I want to trust the people's information in the console, I also want to make sure that we're getting undisputed factual evidence.
Yeah, especially now that there's the potentiality that the council is involved in this and is blaming it on another town.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me.
So I'm down to go and talk to the guards tomorrow at the gates and see who we can talk to who was working that day or something. And
I love a good palaver about cadavers, so
Oh my God.
yes.
And maybe what I'll do when they do that is I'll go down by the docks and like start asking about the house that I live in and seeing like what rumors I can stir up to hear what the perspective of the town is.
And that clergy should be coming back to town soon too, right? I think maybe we get our day of information and then
you
Opening the
should
book, oh no!
you should ask people rather than questioning them about the house, you should talk to them about like how you're interested in buying it permanently and then see if people bring something up. Because like we have it temporarily, like the deed for it right now as we do the job, but we could also stress like, we moved in, we really like it, we want to buy it. Like, what can you tell me about the area and the house? La la la, and then like maybe some people will be like, "Ooh," and then let
Not-
something slip, rather than, "Oh, tell me about this house." That could
Oh
raise
no,
suspicion.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stir up the gossip.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Brennan?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say you could ask them what type of business the previous occupants of the house were in on the console. Like, I've been trying to learn more about the area, and I'd like to know who had the house before me. What were they into? Because it might help us learn why they were targeted.
I'm gonna be like, I heard that place is called Hell House, and somebody dared me to spend a night in there. And
Is
see
it
what
because
they
of
say.
spooky, secret, haunted council business? I would have gotten away for it too if it weren't for that feral elf kid in the walls.
Feral elf child in the walls? Good lord.
By
So,
a dollar.
what did you guys end up deciding about keeping watches? Now, remember, there are a whole bunch of other people in this house with you. So, if everyone just wants to sleep, you have other people that can set watch.
I'm gonna see if maybe like some of the sailors want to sit watch overnight since they're working in shifts as it is, because they had already agreed to work in shifts here. See if anyone wants to just
And we
watch
did
the
all
house.
9 of the 3 people that we gave gold to take refuge with us as
Yep.
well.
Until they
Okay.
can get settled
Cool.
and find jobs, yeah. So,
Okay, cool. So we've got a decent retinue of people that we can call upon then. I think that's fair.
by the time you guys actually meet back, some of them had already started working on the garden, clearing weeds and stuff, looking to settle in. All right.
Highly possible that some of them will just be awake because of
Yeah.
trauma or PTSD or whatever at all hours of the day.
You got
anyways.
several
Yeah.
of them. They're just like sitting in their beds, curled up at knives, going, "Fishman, fishman, fishman."
Yeah, they have PTSD, post-traumatic sleep disorder.
All right. Well, it's well past full night, probably 2, 3 a.m. And there's a pounding on the outside of your door, the door to the house. The men that are on watch at the time, you hear some conversation. Eventually, you're all woken up by your crewmates and other people that you rescued. You're told that you have a visitor.
This early in the morning?
I like startle awake and I'm like, I'm waiting for Harper. Like,
Oh, Fiber, by the way, when you go into your room expecting her to be just passed out on your bed or something, you don't see her at all, but you hear gentle snoring from one of the back walls.
Safe,
Door.
probably safest place for her.
I'll make a note to try to, if I find out this information, like make sure she's got like nice bedding and stuff back there. Hmm.
I mean, I would probably assume that it's Harper. So I would hop to and see who's at the front door.
I just want to know who woke me up, so I'm getting up too.
All right. Everybody roll me a d6.
Everyone.
Everybody. Yeah.
That's not good. That's the initiative die.
All right. Who rolled ones? Quarian rolled a 1. NPC got a 1. Anyone
It's
else?
ridiculous.
As you're coming in, yeah, it's an elderly man. He looks like still got brambles and like weeds in his hair and in his beard. He's got dark rings under his eyes. He's holding one of these bullseye lanterns in one hand, this large oaken staff in the other. As he's come in, as you guys are coming in, he's pointing his staff at a few of your people, and he's saying things like, razor, soap. And the guys just like for a minute they look stunned and like they just go completely still and then they leave the house. All right, the guy, those of you that rolled a 1, he points his staff at you guys. Let's see. So Thiber, you have the sudden impulse and desire to go and get this man a bowl of turtle soup. You can make me a saving throw versus spell.
That wasn't the save.
Everyone.
Versus magic
Yep, save versus magic.
or spell. Nope.
Yeah,
I go get some turtle soup.
You go in the middle of the night to go and find turtle soup.
You're shell shocked.
Dion, go ahead and make me a save
Oh my
as well.
God.
Save versus spell.
Pass, I think.
Okay.
It's a 17 normally for me.
Well, he asks for warm tea from you, and for a moment you feel a desire to make this man warm tea. An overriding desire, but you're able to, like, just shrug it off.
Can I retaliate?
What do you want to do?
I look at him and I go, make you a pot of tea, please?
Oh, of course, please.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to
Would
do
you
it.
like
You
some
just
tea?
pointed at me.
I can make tea. He starts looking around. Where's your kitchen?
It's right over this way. I'll show you. We
Do I
can
get a
make it
s-
together. And
do I
I
get a
lead him
sense
to
he
the
was-
kitchen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do I get a sense he was casting
Oh, yeah.
something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna fall behind then. Just make sure he's not doing anything creepy in there at the end.
All right.
Do
And
I get a
indeed.
sense he tried to charm me? Because I don't appreciate that, and I have a
You
90%
didn't
resistance.
roll a 1?
I did roll a 1.
Oh, you did roll a 1. Okay, yeah. Make me a save versus magic, actually.
Is it a charm spell?
No.
Ooh.
Is it? That's curious. All right.
Well, actually, hold on.
Um.
Is it charm based? That's a good question. It is. Yeah, it's an enchantment / charm. Yes.
So percentage, and I have a 90% chance to just ignore it.
Okay.
90% resistance. So don't roll over a 90, I'm guessing. Okay, 18.
All right.
I was like, how dare you cast a charm spell entering our abode? Who the hell do you think you are? And I knocked an arrow and pointed at him.
I just needed some needle and thread.
No.
I mean, you know.
No. You do not enter another.
That's
another
actually what he
domain.
asked for when he was casting at you.
care.
It's like, I need
What
some
do you
needle
need
and thread.
Why do you need needle and thread?
He lifts up the hem of his robe, and you see there's some tears on it. I've torn my robes.
Are you
I don't-
missing a button?
I still don't care. That's not the point. The point is, you have committed an act of violence against us, and therefore
Who
I
did?
consider you.
He
you
looks
did.
around. I did?
I'm gonna shoot him.
What's your name?
Yeah.
What's your
Who are you?
I'm Harper.
Okay, I asked you to come
Oh.
here.
I was told you wanted to see me?
You don't enter the home and then giving commands, especially magical ones.
Oak, just high or low.
Low.
Give me a roll.
I just imagine like one of us walking into the kitchen to like following him to make the tea and then seeing Oak in the kitchen making turtle soup
Yep.
and being like, It's 3 in the morning. Why are you making soup?" Because Angelica wanted pudding.
Uh, yeah, so Thiber, you luck out pretty quickly. One of your men was actually out making turtle soup in the backyard. They were
Nice.
still farming by torchlight.
And by turtle soup, we mean big chunks of turtle that we
Yeah.
rode.
Mm. That
Dragon
thing's a
turtle
mile
soup.
long. He's not going to miss a little, a little bit of
Yeah.
meat.
Ow!
Just a little cuticle, you know, just
No!
like a little
A
shady
mile long,
shape.
you're like, that's 200 feet out. That hurts.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
still pointing
Harper.
an arrow
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
guy.
He
Yeah,
looks
it's Harper.
shocked. He's like, "What did I do?"
Step back out of the house, please.
Oh, okay. Some of the mint in the tea, please.
Don't make him
Yeah,
any tea.
he walks out
Don't
of the
make
house.
him tea.
You train the teacup with your bow
Don't
and
you make him
arrow.
tea.
Make him-
Don't you make him tea. Don't you let him feel comfortable here.
Things
Oh,
are about
the
to
soup.
tee off.
He takes the soup from you.
Yeah, say by that time I'm walking, I'm like, here's your soup, sir.
I just imagine him like walking outside. He turns around. He has a cup of tea, and Corian's like, "How? How did you get tea?"
Thybor. No, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
just
He asked for
bemused.
some
I'm just
tea.
kind of giggling at all this and the ensuing chaos and following him
Oh,
back
yeah,
outside.
Thiber feels perfectly fine now. It
Yeah, I
made
just
complete
kinda
sense for
grunt
you to
and
do it
shrug
too.
about it.
Yeah, it made perfect sense to you to get him some soup. He's like, "Oh, this is good." He looks around. How's that soap coming?
I'm still aiming my. I'm like, tell you what,
He's standing right outside of the house now, eating the soup.
you point that staff away, or better yet, put it down, and I will not loose this arrow into you.
He shrugs and just tosses his staff away so that he's got 2 hands on his soup now. Oh, I don't know how long it's been since I've eaten. Oh, this is so good. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
You
still holding the arrow
unfortunately
in the
disfigured
bow. It's
man.
just not
Thank
drawn
you.
back.
Did you?
He, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if he just returned from Rustinford.
Did I?
That was the
Yeah,
question.
Did you?
I asked if he just returned from Rustinford,
Mhm.
and he
Did-
said,
did
"Did
I?
I?" Oh
Yeah,
my
remember she
gosh.
said he was forgetful.
Well,
I
where
know.
were you?
It's cute. Oh no.
In the forest, I would imagine he's picking like brambles out of his beard.
Do you
Oh,
go there
like
often?
I find myself there often.
Can I?
You know, does he have the necklace on right now?
He does.
Is it missing an eye?
It is.
Hey, your necklace is missing an eye.
Oh. I'll need to get that fixed. Could you point that elsewhere now?
I already when he put both hands on the soup, the arrow is still in the bow. It's just not drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Did he put
Put
the
it on the
staff on
soup.
the ground, or did he just put it
He
away
actually
in
just
the
tossed
soap?
it. He just threw
Alright.
it.
I'll go and I'll retrieve it and hold on to it.
Can I make a check to see if he's lying to us about Restonford in the forest?
Yeah, make me make me a wisdom check.
Roll wisdom.
Oh,
it's
roll
not rollable.
20 was doing some
Never.
weird stuff earlier tonight for me. If you guys have physical dice around, feel free to use those.
Okay.
Just as
I
a
got it.
there it goes. Good roll.
8.
Yeah.
Wisdom is 14.
You honestly believe that his brain is addled. Whether or not he was in Restonford, he doesn't know.
Oh. Say, Harper, is. I'm trying to put it in a less offensive way than is your brain addled?
Is your brain broke?
Do
Is
you
this- Do you commonly forget things like this?
tell us, give us a rundown of your last 24 hours.
Points
Oh,
at
no,
Drone
last
Wolf
48
and
hours.
says,
Last 48 hours.
It's been happening more and more as I get older. This, again, is a very old man. Yeah.
Sure, but Doesn't mean I believe him.
Mhm.
I'm gonna lean into Corey and be like, I'm not even sure he knows he was casting those spells.
He looks down at his sandals. He says, well, I still have my sandals on, so I must have walked a long way. What was
Today
I
is
doing?
day 2. Tell me where you were for the last 2 days.
I met a bear. We had a grand conversation.
As bears do.
I picked berries. I met some men in my travels.
Ah. Tell us about these men you met in your travels as I zone out into a weird yellow circle for a second.
They were merchants.
Mhm.
They gave me wine. I gave them a blessing.
What kind of blessing?
Oh, the usual.
I don't know what the usual is. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm not used
Yeah.
to blessings.
Good health, good hearth. You know.
Ah,
bear
okay.
parties.
You
Yeah.
well wishes. Okay.
Oh, I woke up with my head hurt so bad. I remember that now. My head hurt so bad.
Where exactly did it hurt? While I figure out what happened.
My
I'm
head's
currently
here.
a will-o-wisp.
Can I
Where on your head did it hurt?
Oh, like a headache. Like
I ask if I can examine his head for him, like physically examine it, if
Oh,
I'm
man.
allowed to like touch him and stuff.
yeah, he's actually a fairly tall, gangly guy, so he that's such a mistake in TP. His head is swarming with hopping lice.
Oh.
He's infested.
Oh, I can see why you need the soap. Did you guys get the soap yet? We should get you a bath.
Jen, Odette's a druid, right?
Odette is a druid.
Ooh,
Would I like to do animal friendship on the lice? Yes, I would.
No,
Tell him to leave.
Gross.
All my friends.
Hop
actually,
into my mouth.
Odette would know that if he's
Swarm
just
with lice.
casually casting quest spells, that's a level 5 spell for a druid. This guy is not only old, but he's quite
Extremely powerful.
yeah.
Okay.
So he's
senile
a
and
druid.
powerful.
So he's a
Greatest
druid
combination.
and not a cleric?
Well, the worshippers of his particular god can be both.
Okay,
Nature
okay.
and the sea.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
he's just
got a
swarming
headache, he talked to a bear.
with body lice, but you don't see any.
You said he's
wounds.
swarming with body lice?
Yeah, it's in his hair.
I would like to cast.
Yes.
I want to cast speak with animals on the lice.
Well,
See if they
technically
can
that'll be
tell us
one
where they-
lice.
That's okay.
And,
I'm gonna listen
There's just
real hard.
one.
Eye.
There's just
Eye.
like one in his eyebrow
Listen
itching
real
blood.
hard.
What's the singular
Check
of
that.
lice?
That's kind of cool. Let me just see how that would work. Because I don't think it's telepathic. What is it? Speak with animals?
Louse. One louse.
One louse. There we go. A
Oh,
singular
it has
louse.
to. It
Not
has
of
to
the
be...
hanging out at the tavern sort of louse.
Is it a mindless creature? Is lice a mindless?
I would
He's
say
just
yes.
Yeah. I would say
lousy
yes.
with
Say
lice.
it's a vermin
If they're
type.
He's
mindless,
lousy
then I
with
can't talk
lice.
to it.
Yes.
I would consider them vermin, but I don't know how AD&D considers it.
Insects, I would imagine.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, Gygax
No,
would've
no,
looked
it would
up
be. It would have a
in
mind. It's not
Encyclopedia Britannica.
amoeba. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, wingless insects.
So
Parasites.
I'm curious to know if we consider the lice living on his head as attacking him, because it says while the
They're
spell lasts,
pals.
the animal and any other animals of the same type in its company will refrain from attacking.
Oh, nice.
Like, so they would just
They
all
just-
drop off
They
his
just
head
drop.
They just stop the blood
I
sucking.
think they would just stop chewing on his
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't see why you couldn't
Stop
cast
itching.
it.
I
Okay,
love this.
I'm gonna cast it.
Okay. One singular louse hops off his eyebrow and lands on the nail of your finger.
Where has this guy been? Sorry, I said, where has this guy been?
Okay. So how does it speak to you? Because it doesn't do it telepathically. I think it has to do.
Is it just
Morse code.
speak?
Yeah, well, it's gonna have to
Is it
nod
smart
its
enough for
head or
Morse
do
code?
something like that to be able to answer
That's
you.
a
So I
good
would say,
question.
I
If
think it
it's
can
smart
only answer
enough.
yes, no.
yes
at
or
that
no
point.
questions, right?
Wiggle this way, yes, and wiggle this way, no.
Yeah.
Jump
Okay.
It would
once
have to
for
also
yeah.
be what the animal would understand. Like it wouldn't understand in one city from another city, for instance.
Has the old man been in a big city 2 suns ago?
Tell you what, I am going to. I'll give you a shot at this.
Is
Let
that
me
accurate?
see.
Is it 2 suns ago? Like I would essentially say like however long ago it was,
Yeah,
like
because
when the
it's
murder happened.
Tuesday night,
Okay.
Wednesday morning.
Let's say you figure out a way to communicate with it with just like movements of its body.
46
Yeah.
lice.
So it's
respond
gonna.
to
They spell out letters together.
Yeah, there you go. It's a
They
flea
spell out letters
circus.
together.
Do they know?
Yeah.
But do they know letters?
You get the idea
They're very
that
powerful
just
lice.
from its body motions, like you figure out a yes and no response.
Okay.
And no, he's not been in a city for the last couple of days.
Ask him if he was attacked. Because he
Was
said his
he
head hurt.
was he attacked?
No.
The people he saw.
He's like, oh, maybe I don't need that soap. I feel fine now.
Because they're
Were
not
you-
fighting him anymore. The people he met in the woods, did one of them have a I don't know how to describe this. A circle with strings attached.
Oh. It doesn't know items. Like it just gives you yes and no together. It doesn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gives it like wiggles and shakes.
Would it know the concept of music? You could ask if they were like musical
Did you-
person.
Did they sing?
Did you hear any music whenever?
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't know. Again, you get the yes no. Very limited brain in a flea.
Okay. How do I ask this? No.
If you
Can it
want
give me,
want a
like-
moment, yeah, let me cut to someone else and you
Yeah,
can-
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, so he's finishing off his soup and he's like, "Oh, yeah, don't need that soap. I feel okay. How's that needle and thread coming?"
Nope.
No needle and thread.
You know what? Tell you what. I'll take him inside while you question his little buddies there. And I'll
Little
see if
buddy,
I can
she has a
clean him
single
up. I'll
flea on
make
her
him-
fingertip.
Yeah. I'll clean him up. I'll see if I can hem his clothing real quick. I'll make sure, I'll keep an eye on him, and you guys keep questioning.
I'm
while
gonna
I'll
he's
go inside with you because
I-
I'm not talking to the bugs.
Yeah, appreciate it.
If you're-
Appreciate
yeah.
it. Yeah, I lead the old man inside. I'm like, here, let's get that hemmed up and let's clean you up a little. You've had a long day.
So when you do go back inside, the elven girl is there. She's rubbing sleep out of her eyes. Her eyes light up, and she just runs forward, just takes a running jump at Harper, just latches onto him, and he
Get
just rubs the
lice.
back of her head. It's like,
You-
oh, you're still here.
Let's continue our discussion.
He turns
Uh,
around, and she's still glommed on him. He's like, yes.
Child, tell me about Osperum.
The goddess.
Well, yeah. You
Oh.
follow.
Let me tell you, and actually, he goes on. He just a very perfectly, as if he said this 1,000 times, gives you like the spiel,
Does
who
anyone,
the goddess
does
is.
anyone have
While he,
detect magic or something of the sort?
I have read magic, not detect.
While he starts going off about religion, I'm just gonna go and try and find like needle and thread, see if I can find like a brush or something, and like
Mhm.
eventually return and like start trying to hem his clothing and brush his hair out
And
a
he's
little.
like totally coherent in this diatribe.
In
about
this,
Osperum.
yes,
Not a
but
rant, a
it
diatribe.
sounds
Same thing.
perfectly rehearsed though.
Okay.
like he's repeated these same words many, many, many times.
This rug has
Sure.
clear pathways
No, I
tread
think-
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But as he's doing this, you guys learn a few things. One, the goddess who you've not encountered before, she's kind of limited to these isles, is fairly chaotic. Like, she's prayed to by fishermen for the mostly so that she doesn't kill them while they're on the waves, not for blessings of bounty and of good
That's a
fishing. It's
deity I
mostly,
can get behind.
please don't kill us while we're on your ocean. So yeah, not a very nice goddess, but apparently can be bribed by certain service is done for her by helping her creatures, which are sea animals, basically not overfishing, things like that. And again, once he's done with the spiel, though, if you actually have any questions about his religious beliefs, it goes back to the, well, he has a harder time with direct questions. Thyber, what are you doing during all this? The elf girl drops off and goes back to her room.
I probably went back to bed if it's like, okay, I made soup, because this was like 3 in the morning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I probably would have just gone right back to bed unless there was some sort of action going on.
Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. I mean, you've got a senile guy in here who doesn't seem to... Well, I mean, he's darn powerful and senile. That could be a bad thing. Bad combination.
I don't know that I believe he's senile. I believe that perhaps Osperum, he pissed her off and she addled his brain for a while, which is why I was hoping for a detect magic. The clerics in town probably have a detect magic ability.
I have detect magic, but I just didn't prepare it. So like if I had, I would need a little bit of time to determine.
You could cast it in the morning.
Yeah, basically I have to wait until the sun comes up and then I can cast it.
All right, have his lice pin him down till sunup.
So I want to ask the light. I've got 2 questions.
Mhm.
Was this man attacked by a bear?
Yes.
Oh my god. That's why his cloak is ripped. He was attacked by a bear. Did he kill the bear?
No.
Is the bear his friend now?
Hold on.
It doesn't know. It's like,
Tough call.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Lice.
dance, dance.
No.
okay. If it can, because I know this isn't a yes or no, but it might be like a little tapping question. How many suns since he was out of the woods?
Oh. Okay. Well, you get the impression that it just today. He just arrived.
Before, yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Crap. Okay, I wanted to avoid doing this. I wanted to go through like 3 suns ago. Was he in the woods?
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so through several questioning,
Okay.
you're able to get the louse to basically say he's been in the woods for at least 6 risings of the sun.
And how long ago was the first or the murder that we're investigating? The
3
primary
days.
one.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago. It was
Oh.
committed Sunday, found Monday. This is the end of Tuesday,
Yeah.
going into
Kind
Wednesday.
of the in-between time, yeah.
Yep.
So I think we can,
Cross
by
them
this
off.
impartial louse, we
Yeah.
can.
Will that louse's
Then-
statement hold up in a court?
Perry
What
Mason.
does it matter?
I've nicknamed the louse Snickers. I just want everyone to know
Yeah.
that I might keep this thing.
I hand you a Perry Mason jar.
Oh,
Oh no. All right.
Snickers.
Well, Dion, NPC has actually gone through and sewn up his gown. He
Oh.
does actually have scars on himself, but they look like they've been healed. Like he's got a huge gash of scar tissue on the side where his gown was just barely being held together. But it's like all healed up now. But it looks like it was a pretty vicious swipe of a large claw, perhaps. Same thing with his face. Now that you're cleaning out his beard, it looks like something just bit his face and like mauled him. But it's all healed and the hair is covering up a lot of it.
This poor man. Yeah, I just keep cleaning him up a little, and
I'm gonna ask him. Would you like to stay here with the girl for a while and rest and recuperate?
Oh, we should catch up.
Yeah.
I still
might be
haven't
good for
found
you.
her parents. I've been looking. I keep looking.
That's why you're looking.
Oh.
Oh.
wait, her parents are alive?
Oh, her
Ooh.
true parents.
For real parents.
Oh, okay. What happened to her, I guess, adoptive parents?
Oh, horrible, horrible plague. Boils and pustules and
Did you see that yourself, or were you told that?
oh no. Harmon told me that they did all the blessings and rites to clear the home to make sure that nothing could be passed on.
Ooh,
Tell us more about
is
Harmon.
Harmon, yeah.
Harmon, oh, he's my acolyte. He runs the church when I'm away.
Oh.
I seem to be away more often these days.
And that's in Restonford?
Oh no, here in
Here?
Groton. The church is here. I go occasionally to Restonford, but they don't believe in the lady there as much. Not as many seafarers.
So why is Harmon not with you now? Because he's attending the church?
Yes,
Does
he
not-
takes care of all the church business here while I go and proselytize and I'm supposed to be doing something else.
Yeah, what could that be? Were you on the way to Restonford?
I'm gonna lean to Odette and say, like, I think.
Like, he
this-
stares for a minute, and it's like, I don't know.
Like I said, magic-addled brain.
Yeah, I lean to Odette and I say, I'm not sure this is just old age and forgetfulness. I think Harmon might be harming this man.
You, NPC that's not a player character. Run to, I don't want Harmon. Don't go to the Church of Osperum. Go to the other church and bring a cleric. Anyone that's awake that can perhaps cast detect magic.
And give us
quickly.
your biggest Christmas goose.
And here's the gold coin.
He takes the coin. He says, well,
That's for the cleric.
the only other large temple here is the Temple to Cord. You sure you want one of their clerics?
If they can detect magic or curse or yes. Here's another gold coin. One for you to ask no more questions. The other for
You get a gold coin.
the
You
cleric.
get a gold
Spending all this gold, and I'm
Look
literally
under
like,
your
just
chair.
give me gold. Give me the gold. I'm broke. Give me gold, and I will cast the spell in like
And
5 seconds.
as
The
you
sun
say
is
that-
cresting the
No,
hills,
it's
and I'm
no,
like,
no.
As you
What,
say, give
what
me
time
the...
of year is it? Hold on. What time of year is it?
what were you gonna say,
It's
Brendan? What
fall.
were you gonna say, Brendan?
It's fall.
It's fall. So no, the sun's not going to be up until like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, well, so one of the ship hands takes the gold and runs off to see if he can find a cleric.
Thank you, Fred.
As you say, give me the gold, the louse in the jar thinks you're talking to it, and it just goes no.
All right, so at this point, the old man having been groomed and fed, and he's like, "Oh, I find myself being very, very tired." NPC, he just lays down and falls asleep on your bed.
You.
That's fine. I put a blanket over
Yeah.
him.
You
I'm gonna
can
stick
see the
close by.
lice migrating off of his scalp onto your bedding.
Burn that bedding when you're done. When he's done with it.
I sprinkle some animal friendship on Snickers.
You want to befriend the louse? I'll let you.
That's what's
befriend the
happening.
louse, sure.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a
I have a
louse in the
louse!
house.
You know they don't live very long, right?
Not by,
Yeah,
not
most
by
insects have
sprinkling
pretty short
animal
lives.
friendships. You meant like squishing it with your thumb or something.
I'm gonna look this up.
What's the life expectancy of a louse?
I mean,
It's the louse place.
Depends on if they are in a school or not.
30 days.
Well, 6 of them are gone, we know.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it.
24
it has to have blood at least 1 to 2 day every 1 to 2 days, and so I'm gonna be like, Snickers, go, and I'm gonna like send him off to like go get blood off of somebody and then come back.
You
to
say
me.
that, and I produce a mason jar of blood from my cloak, like out of nowhere.
That'd be the biggest
Don't
loser.
ask.
People are weird. Why am I here again?
I love this louse. I'm
I'm
so
gonna go
excited.
live on the ship, I think.
If you, he's fallen asleep, sleeping quite soundly, it seems. You do you want to do anything while he's out? Fiber. So he was possibly a threat. Did you still want to go to sleep?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was no one was like making noise or like appearing like there was some other than our bow happy friend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, if you're not doing anything else, then and just waiting, maybe
There's
half
also
hour.
part of it he's going in there to make sure to keep an ear on the girl too.
About half an hour comes by. There's another rap on the door. It's pretty.
Fred?
Fred just opens it. He's like, just come in.
Yeah.
And this blurry-eyed cleric, and when I say cleric, this is no thin man that worships his god. This is a brutal, large, hulking guy that worships Cord because blood.
For the blood god.
You received the gold coin.
I did.
Will you detect magic on Harper to see if his brain has been magically scrambled, addled?
Did he fall in battle?
Yes, with a bear.
That's Harper.
That's Harper, yeah.
Yeah.
He takes the coin and kind of places it on surface between you and says, and folds his arms. He says, "Why are you having me meddle with another clergy's cleric?"
Because we believe he has been adversely affected by a magical spell or curse on him that is keeping him from knowing what he is doing. Would you not wish to assist another clergy member so that his brain may be cleared of any fog that should not be there and has been placed perhaps
I wish
by
not
an
to be
errant
put.
acolyte or something?
Wish to not be put in a position where my church and his are in conflict. He
sleeping.
looks around. You're not from this village,
He's sleeping though. He won't even know. Another gold coin. Clink.
but you'll know. He looks at the two gold coins. This stays between us. Then
Very well.
he takes the coins and goes over. It says, in a kind of a brutal tongue, starts chanting, and after a bit, he'll come back and says, "There is a spell upon him." Yes.
Nailed it.
I put a spell on you.
Do you know the school of the spell? The school of magic of the spell? Was that a thing in first edition?
It is.
I
Yes,
suppose,
it is. It is.
There's charms and stuff.
Let me
so.
see how well he would actually know the coloration of this. Okay, well, that's not bad. And let the GM look up the spell to find out.
It's all right. Trying to ask all the hard questions for you, Bert.
No, you're good. You're good. Alteration.
As I suspected. Stays between us. You have my word.
The spell has been on him for some time.
Hmm.
I'll give you that as well for your coin.
For any more coin, can you recommend a way for us to stop this?
It has been on him for some time. He looks around, finds a chair to sit down on, and he just kind of rubs his face. He's
Do
like,
you want some turtle soup or perhaps some tea?
How about a needle and thread or some soap?
"Look, I
beer?
don't know why he is in the position he is. I have known Harper for some time. He has been losing some of his functionality over the years. I always attributed it to that. This spell, however, is not a simple one. It would have
You're saying
taken
years?
more than one person to initiate this sort of thing.
Or perhaps a deity?
Do you think someone
That is possible.
A deity.
Do you think someone like of power as say one of his highest acolytes would be able to do such a thing?
No. Harper
Hmm.
was the most powerful of his order. However, several of them could accomplish this, or perhaps his deity, if he in some way made insult or provoked her ire.
Okay, I now have a plan for Corian for the next 24 hours.
Is there a way to undo this?
Not easily.
What's the hard way?
A circle, a coven, many practitioners, or to find out what it is that his goddess requires of him that he has not fulfilled.
It's my 24-hour request.
Would that be
Yeah.
something he might be able to tell or know, even with the addledness, or
I don't know.
Um, if uh, if someone were to, if someone were to bring Harper close to death, almost indistinguishable from death, do you think that maybe he would be released from this pact?
If I put a pillow on his face.
I have feigned death, okay? I have feigned death as a spell, all right? I can make him look.
And
I
it's
can make
actually
him
just
be almost dead.
It's
I
just a
don't-
pillow that has crocheted on it, feigned death.
JK.
I don't know the nature of this spell. It resembles. Okay, so GM always has problems with pronunciation of this. Gesh.
Gesh.
Right.
Gesh. Gesh.
It resembles that. He is
Right.
to be completing something for his goddess or for whatever circle did this to him, and it's perhaps he's forgotten.
Mm.
Do you think there's a way I could communicate with his god?
That's what I'm
Go
gonna
to
do for
his
24
church
hours.
and pray.
Nope, not going to go to the church. Going to go to nature.
Yeah, he collects his gold, and
Thank you, Brawl Master. I don't know his name. He didn't give us his name.
the spite of Cord be with you.
May you die in battle honorably.
Nods to that. Yep, it is late. It is, the very beginnings of sun coming up.
Oh,
the far
really?
horizon.
How many suns is this now?
Most of you, well, none of you well, no, I take that back. Thyber got a complete night's sleep.
Nice.
Everyone else is pretty exhausted at this
Yeah,
point.
he's on
Corian?
duty.
Yeah. So Corian come up with something he wants to do?
Yes, I'm going to go. My deity is technically the forces of nature. I believe Ostrom would be in that pantheon. And so I will go commune with nature for 24 hours in hopes to, even if it requires me to take on a Geish, to just find out if she's pissed at him because he did something stupid.
Wow.
I would-
Okay. So another
yeah.
person's going to go and wander the forest for at least the better part
Would
of
it
the day.
would it be helpful to wander the forest, or would it make sense for Corian to walk into the water? Because that's right. Isn't
It's nature. I mean, it would maybe
It says
not have
fishermen
bears.
vote.
isn't
vote
isn't the
to
goddess
vote
the
over
god
the
Ostrom the goddess
creature.
of water, like creatures of water?
Yep. Creatures of the
Okay.
water, storms in the seas.
Yeah, you should go into the water. Don't go into the forest. You'll have a better chance in the water.
Nice.
Fine.
When you say that, I say, "Oh, that's right. You visited them the other day."
I did.
What do you think? Do you think there'd be harm in us going there and asking a few questions now that we have another lead? I had an idea. Tell me if this is crazy. We go we tell them we found him dead by bear attack, and we see how they react.
I think so. I was gonna go plant my louse on them, so I guess that's a better decision.
No, we do both. Maybe
A louse spy.
Louse spy. I like this.
Spies like louse.
Might be,
Doctor.
yeah, but the thing might be a bit lousy at the job.
No!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Basically, what I'm gonna Jen, what I'm gonna do. I like the idea of using it as a spy, but it does have really limited intelligence. So I'm basically
it's
just rolling a
such an idiot.
percentile dice with each question to see if it can figure out what you're
Right.
looking for.
Hey,
I was guessing you
whatever.
were doing that with the 50 below
Yeah.
or 50 up. Yeah.
Snickers is gonna come back to me one way or another. I just need to unless Snickers
Snickers
dies.
Snickers is an extra in Sneakers, D&D style.
So, Corian, are you going to explain what you're going to do, or do you just head out?
I'm just gonna head out.
All right.
I don't explain unless somebody actually asks.
I'm in with Odette for this fucking louse plan. I am so excited by this.
I go to the ship. I go to our ship. I get one of the pinnaces or longboats, whatever's on there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna row out some distance,
Okay.
all while praying to Osperum
Mm-hmm. Okay.
in hopes of like offering my services in hopes of assisting one of her
I tell you what,
followers.
since you had him give you the spiel, you actually have some insight into what she would require to be contacted. The bribery thing comes back, so she's very accepting of gifts, especially gifts from the sea. So knowing that, is there anything specific you want to do?
A gift from the sea? That's what's in the cargo hold of the ship? I was absent for a while.
What do you want there to be in there?
Skull.
I want there to be
Skull.
Rogue and a skull.
Put the crown on
No.
the skull.
Give the god the crown.
I'm
Actually,
saying
what
this
is crown?
because there
So I
were
was
some
just thinking.
unopened crates, so I will give you a check to see. So you tell me what it is you're looking for.
a gift. What would she consider a gift from the sea?
Like shells, sand dollars, maybe
I was
like
thinking like a giant pearl or
Yeah.
something.
something
Okay.
like that that occurs naturally. In
Do
the
we
sea.
have any of the fishman meat left?
No.
No, I'll go with a large pearl,
Okay.
a larger than average pearl.
High or low?
I'm gonna say, are you rolling percentage?
Percentage. Yep. High or low.
High.
Go ahead and give me a D100 roll.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So not a giant pearl, but you do find tucked away in one of the crates of various trade goods. You find some like shells, like the mother of pearl from shells that have been sheened off into sheets. But you also find a bag of black and red pearls. Red pearls, incredibly rare.
Neat.
All right. I'll take that bag of. I'll just sort out the red pearls and be like, this should be good.
Okay, very good. All right, I tell you what. I'm gonna have you make the check. Make
Okay.
me a charisma check. You can treat your charisma as being +5 higher than it is. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna need a really good roll though, so not just a success, but you know.
Okay. +5 puts it at a 16.
Okay.
I got an 8, so
Okay.
I made it by 8.
So I'll get back to you. All right. So Corian just wanders off. He wanders. Well, actually, you don't know where he wanders to since the ship is in the harbor. So Corian wanders off. Again, it's the very early bits of light starting to come up in the sky. Thiber, you got some rest. What are the rest of you guys doing?
NPC's gonna sleep in a couple extra hours to make up for the like 2 hours lost last night.
Sure. Okay.
I'm heading down to the docks to do what I wanted to do the day before. Ask about the house.
I'm gonna ask you then if you want me to go plant the louse on Harmon.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'll go do.
I tell Snickers the plan.
I motion to Snickers to like get on board and get a snack, buddy. We're going for a ride.
Oh my god.
All right.
Steel yourself, little man.
Freaking Snickers.
All right. So you're going to the Church of Osprum. Odette is going to ask about this house. Where are you asking? Or like, where are you going to ask?
I'm specifically going down to the fisherman district because my guess is if I ask about it, like people who knew the gentleman who lived there will say something.
Oh, you know what? Before she goes, I'd like to say I'm starting to suspect that maybe this little girl is quite important, and the thing they stole could have been the papers about her heritage. So maybe don't mention her at all when you're asking, or if you do, try to find out who her.
Why?
Who,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I agree. I said that from the very beginning is that we don't talk about her at all.
Okay. No,
Like, we
I'm.
don't mention her.
I knew we weren't going to mention her. I wanted to specifically say, like, I'm
Okay.
starting to get the sense that maybe her heritage is important.
Okay. She's a princess living in the
Yeah.
walls.
Fiber,
Exactly.
what are you doing today?
I don't know what he would really want to be doing. He's getting kind of bored and wanting to just punch something or beat something. So
I'm going to tell him this Harmon guy sounds like a dickbag if you want to come with me.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
I hate playing a low charisma, low intelligence character sometimes. It's like, beat stuff.
Okay, so we'll take up with Odette first then. So Odette, you go down to the wharfs knowing that the person who lived in that house, that he was a fisherman. So how do you, this is actually an interesting day. As you're coming down to the wharf, you see that all the boats have been pulled out of the water
Oh.
and they've been turned upside down onto the shores. And the fishermen are nowhere on the harbor at all. The harbor is just empty. Some of the warehouses that are right on the harbor, though, there are people in there working, moving some crates around, looking like they're getting ready for a market day.
I would probably go up since it's early in the morning. I would expect the fishermen to be out right now.
You would
So
expect
I would go up and I would ask like somebody working the crates and say like what's happening? Where are the fishermen and women?
He looks around, looks at you, and says, "Holy day. We don't fish on these days."
Oh, that makes sense when you believe in that stuff. Okay. Why are you working then? If you don't fish, why are you still working?
Oh, we just don't go into the water. Osprum makes a sign.
Uh-oh.
Yep. We allow the bounty of the sea to not be imperiled by us. One day a week.
Okay. Okay.
Osprum has no problems with us making money on the land, however.
Okay. So are you a fisherman?
Eh?
Okay. Maybe you might be able to tell me something. There's a house that's available, but
Many houses available.
I've heard that this one is called the Hell House.
He does that sign again, like he's crossing himself. Like, yeah, it's Kyle and his poor family. I hear it was a right mess.
Did you say Kyle?
Kyle, yes.
Like, wait, Kyle or like
Kyle.
Kyle. Okay, Kyle. Thank you. I was like writing Kyle, like
he's got an
yes.
S on his chest, and
Yeah, say,
Kyle.
he's not from Krypton.
Okay. So, I've heard lots of stories, but like, come on, what really happened there?
we're told he had the plague of some sort.
The plague. Did who kind of started spreading that info? Like, how'd you find out?
The Church of Osprum. They forbade anyone from going, wishing the family well, saying that there was too much chance of catching what they died of. He looks around and he's like, "That's Kyle's boat over there. I've been using it since."
You've never caught anything.
No, I have not.
So do you think it's a load of crap?
He looks around like he's feeling guilty about something, and he says, "Look, Church of Osprum here doesn't always do right by many of us.
Mm.
Now,
That's not
Harper,
good.
he was a good man. He was a very good man, but he's been doing walkabout here the last few years. Hasn't really been doing anything with the church. No hand in it anymore. The people that run it now, don't trust them. I think Kyle and his family, I don't know. I know they took his possessions.
Mm. Kyle was on the council too, right?
Okay.
Okay. Is there anybody else who, like, I mean, the church wouldn't have anything against Kyle, right?
No, he paid his tithes. He was a God-fearing member of the Ostrom Church. I don't see why, but they're not going to let a situation get by where they can make some coin.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened there.
So, so Kyle was on the council with his wife, right?
Hmm.
Okay. I heard they were good people. They had a lot of good ideas.
Why are you asking all of these questions?
Because I've heard the house is haunted by them.
What does that matter to you?
Because I'm curious. I'm a journalist. I'm not actually. I don't actually say that to him.
Give me a charisma roll.
Do you really want a charisma
I
roll?
want a charisma roll.
Okay. Wait. Is it just a? What do you need me to do for charisma?
Just
Is it
roll a d20. You need to get equal to or under your charisma.
Okay. I have an 18 charisma.
All right. That's a low success, but a success. It's like, look, I don't know what it is you're after. You're not from here. Kyle and his family, they were good people.
Yeah.
But why? It's been years. Why do you want to know this?
How many years?
Going on 3, 4 years now?
Okay. Want to know because, in all honesty, we're thinking about purchasing the place up there, but I don't want to buy a place that has kind of shady past.
Well, truth be told, I don't believe any of the plague tales. If you can get a good price for it, Kyle did some good handicraft. I think that house is probably in good shape. I know the council keeps all the buildings that are not occupied. You know, they make sure they're not hazards.
Okay. Who else? Are there any other like good people on the council? If I wanted to get to know more about the town, maybe I want to go out for the council at some point.
So I'll give you this because you passed your charisma test. And again, he looks around to make sure no one else is listening. He's like, look, there's a saying about Garrotten. If you need somebody murdered, come to Garrotten. And just with that, he just like,
I don't need anybody murdered.
I got work to do.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Got Garrett right in the name, like Garrett.
Yeah.
All right. So Grown Wolf. So the church of Osprey is actually quite full today, and just by hearing and listening to the crowds, it's because it's a holy day. The fishermen don't go out on the seas. It's forbidden to do so. This is the day where the creatures of the sea are allowed respite from the sailors and the fishermen. And so the churches today is full. The fishermen are making offerings. Usually it's just small things, shells from the sea, maybe something made from the bounty of the sea, food, things like that. Everyone's bringing things in to curry favor from Ostrom. What are you trying to do here?
So the plan, I believe, if this is fair, Odette, is to get Snickers onto Harmon's person, right?
Okay.
I mean, I left Snickers with you, and all Snickers knows is he's going to be a spy. You do whatever you need to do.
Okay. So yeah, I think my best bet at getting information is someone close to Harmon that's like Harmon's second hand or Harmon. So I'm gonna look for somebody that looks officious and try to strike up a conversation.
Well, there are several of the clergy around that are ministering to people, taking their offerings, giving blessings, that sort of thing. Just kind of listening in, maybe asking a few questions here and there. So what you find out is that Harmon he's the canon, so he's not the head of the church. Harper is technically,
Right.
but Harmon runs everything because he's been called by the goddess to do specific things, and he's hardly ever here. Basil's the curate. He is the one who actually does the administration of the church. He's going to be your bean counter.
Okay.
So Lothar is a groundskeeper. He's crippled in one leg. Looks like he's had a pretty rough life. And those are the people that you see. So there's Harmon, who is he's the one accepting the gifts, giving the blessings. Basil is there as well, doing the same. Lothar is basically just minding the grounds, making sure people aren't trampling over things, making sure there aren't too many people in the building.
Okay.
So those are your targets. There are only 3 brothers, it looks like, that are here now doing anything.
I'm gonna turn to actually, let me think about this for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Thybor. I'm gonna say, you see that groundskeeper with the bum leg over there? Why don't you try to see if he's aware of how advanced or how quickly or how severe our friend Harper's descent into Crazy Town has gone, and maybe be a little light
Okay,
touched.
I'm going to say you didn't cast the spell, so it can't communicate with you.
No, I'm
So-
talking to Thybor.
You're talking to Thybor. Oh, so
Yeah.
Thybor
And-
came
and
with you?
so-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
wanting me to talk to the groundskeeper.
Yeah, I was thinking we could like divide and conquer a little
Okay.
bit. Like he goes after the groundskeeper, and then I'm going to give an offering as a gift to Harmon, who's taking gifts from people, and it's gonna have a little louse on it. It's gonna have a little louse.
All right.
Could have a little louse as a treat is what I'm going for. And so I'm gonna go up with are they accepting money as gifts as
Of
well?
course. Of
Uh,
course.
Perfect, because I chuckled myself just thinking like Odette would really like this piece of gold, and it's just gonna be a surfboard for this louse. This is amazing, and I'm gonna get in the line to give him a special little treat.
Okay. Sounds good. So Thybor, if you're going to approach Lothar, so as you get closer, you find it's his left side of his body. So it's his left leg, his left eye, his left ear is missing. And he's not completely, he has not lost complete motion of his left leg, but it's very stiff. So, he's kind of straight legging it as he's walking around, telling, get off get off the grass. He's just hurting people away from
Is it to me or other people?
other people.
Okay.
Unless you're walking in the grass and he's trying to keep people off of.
No, that's fine. I'll wait till he's got a moment, like where he's not bitching at people.
Oh, it looks like he's got just that kind of disposition. He's
that's
just
fine.
finding fault with everything. But yeah, you can get up to him.
So, excuse me.
Ah! When you approach a man on his blind side like that, my gosh, you're an ugly fella.
Yeah, it looked like I could take a couple lessons from you, though. Do you wrestle a shark or something?
Yeah, none of your business. Why don't you drop your offerings off and be gone, ugly one?
Well, I might drop some offerings, but I got a question for you. The old Harper, crazy guy, you know him?
Crazy guy. He straightens up. He's the head of our order. That man's a saint.
Yeah, but he's not quite all there. How long's that been?
Well, people get old.
I think there's something more than age going on there. Do you have any special visitors that wanted to
People
keep
get
him quiet
really
about
old.
things?
Make me a charisma check. Well, actually, make me a wisdom check here.
Let's see. That's a 10.
All right, what's your wisdom?
10. So, nope.
Just past it. Okay.
No, I have to roll under, don't I?
Right. That's why it's just past. I'm sorry. Oh, it's
Yep.
over. So just over though. Yeah. So he just doesn't seem to like talking about Harper. And he's just kind of a crotchety old guy in the first place. It's like, when you get that old, see how well your brain works.
It doesn't work that good now.
I can believe it.
Did he have enemies?
Harper or you?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got plenty.
Oh, I've got lots. Harper have any enemies?
So like he's just looking really. Why are you asking these questions?
Well, he's become a friend of mine. I'm trying to help him out. Seemed
Have
like
you
somebody
seen
set
him
him up
recently?
trying to.
He's been gone for weeks.
Oh, I've seen him recently. He got in a tangle with a bear.
That'd be Harper. He calls them conversations.
I believe that's what he mentioned. So me and some friends are trying to help him out, and we think somebody may have done him wrong.
All right. Maybe an intelligence check. I know these are not your best traits.
So you give me all. I say that's okay. I say that's the bad thing with a low stat character. And again, another 10. Nope.
Okay. He's making sure to keep a fair amount of space between the two of you. And he's like, look, if you have questions about Harper, go talk to Harmon. Harmon, he'll talk what he will. He'll say what he will. Stop bothering me.
Fine. Have fun. Someone's on the grass over there, and I point to his blind side.
He whips around so that his one good eye
Then I
can look
walk
in that
off.
direction. Get off my grass! All right.
I like the idea that he basically does a 360
Yeah.
to see somebody.
All right, good enough. Quarian, you're out on the ocean during a holy day where it is forbidden.
I wish I was there to like slap Thybor on the back really hard because I really appreciate that last bit. Like, that's the same thing I'd have done. All right, I am out on the water on Forbidden Water Day.
You are.
Perfect.
You
With a
are
bag of
indeed.
red
Forbidden
pearls
Water Day.
and a sea shanty in me heart.
All right. Well, you have these red pearls as an offering. What do you do with them? And do you have any kind of communing spell at all?
I have no spells, for I am a ranger. I am but a
that's true.
lowly
Yeah.
second level ranger.
Okay.
But I have been communing with nature for all my 547 years.
What do you do with the pearls?
I whisper I pick one out of the bag and I whisper to it, find your way to Osperum, for I wish to assist one of our loyal followers and will take on responsibilities to do so. Bloop, into the water. And then like row for a while and then do the same thing.
Okay. Make me a charisma check.
Oh boy. Just a regular old charisma
Oh, wait,
check?
you already made the check. I already
I
asked you
did.
to do the check
I rolled
earlier.
I made it by 8.
There's thumping beneath your boat. And
I will
you
dock
start-
the oars.
Okay. And it happens a few times, and you start seeing dolphins swimming along beside you. And occasionally they'll bump the bottom of your boat, causing it to leap a little bit. It is causing actually your boat to rock, as if they're trying to capsize you.
Sure. I'll grab the bag of red pearls and throw one at each of the dolphins.
Okay. So yeah, as you do so, your boat is lifted out of the water on the backs of several dolphins, and you're kind of you're being transported out to deeper and deeper water.
Hang 10, bro.
Eventually, you're taken far from shore, and you're dumped off in an area of. There's a lot of floating, tangled weeds. You can see bits of sunken boats and destroyed boats that were caught up in these weeds, and you're basically dropped in the middle of this tangle so that your boat is still. There's no breeze on the air. It's a little chilly as it's getting into the fall, and it's just utterly quiet.
Oh, great Osperum, I am but a lowly, long-lived elf. However, I request your assistance for one of your loyal followers, and I am prepared to offer my services in kind, as it were.
Okay.
Bag of, and I bring gifts from the sea. A bag of red pearls.
Okay. A claw comes out right above the prow of your boat as you're holding over this bag of pearls. And the claw just grips the bag, and it's enormous. This claw is like, it looks like a crab's claw, but it's huge. It comes up, it grabs it, and it sinks down with it. And then the crab kind of scuttles up on a piece of flotsam nearby. This is like, it's large enough that it's about the size of your torso. So it climbs up, clatters up onto these boards, and its eyes kind of pivot around. But its voice is actually, as it speaks through its little mandibles and the little gill slots that the crabs have, and it's actually very light, airy, feminine cast to it.
I drop down to one knee and bow my head, knowing that I am in the presence of something greater than me.
So it speaks and says, "Immortal as you are, elf, your kind is not often beseeching the blessings of the sea. My mistress is away, but I have heard your call. You've promised a boon. What do you want in return?"
I have stumbled upon a loyal follower of your mistress, one high clergyman, Harper, who seems to be addled in the brain by magical means. I do not believe that it serves her to have him in this state, and therefore I thought perhaps there would be a way she would assist in some way to clear the fog from his mind so that he may grow her flock.
Harper must find his own way. He's the one true prophet of the goddess.
Oh, that's also valuable information. I understand. So it has been apparently, well, I don't know. No, I do know because the Brawl Master told us. It has been quite some time. I do not believe he knows the way back. May I assist him in some way?
He'll not know his way until the goddess's church is returned to her.
It has been stolen? Are there false prophets in its walls?
Harper is the only prophet of the goddess.
Got
And
it.
with that, the crab just kind of sinks down into the water.
I row back. I'm like,
all right. So when you left,
That way.
it was barely light in the sky, and this is why you didn't realize that there were no fishermen about. But as you're coming into shore, you're seeing all the ships have been beached and turned over. And as you're rowing in, there's actually people seeing you do this, and you hear very angry voices coming out. And
as the longboat is lifted back onto our ship, I stand at the top of the gangplank and I say, "I have communed with Osperum this day, and her what's the word I'm looking for? Her representatives from the sea. There is something afoot in her temple, for Harper is the only true prophet of Osperum. You have been led astray, fishers."
That's pretty good.
Farmers.
Give me a charisma check. I'll give you a bonus for having the good speech there. But let's just see how these people react to it.
Sure. I normally have a charisma 11.
Okay.
Just cleared it. Whatever your bonus is to my 1 on clearing.
Mm-hmm. So there are bits being thrown around. So guys, the way I've got this set up, for 100 bits, you can succeed on your next roll. Someone just threw 200 down.
That's
yeah, wanting
that's
mayhem
for the
to happen.
reactor explosion, and I didn't even create the reactor explosion. I just happened to be there.
Right.
Isn't that one of our party members throwing money at us?
Yeah. Oh, there is earlier on.
Yeah, you're supposed to be here. What's up?
Somebody
What's
threw
up,
a couple
yo?
of 100 ones.
I threw 100 in earlier.
All right, so those
Jeff
were
threw.
successes.
I'm sorry.
In the,
Jeff threw
Gray.
bits. Also, Gray threw 200 bits earlier.
yeah,
Okay.
we've had
For-
a good amount of bits thrown at us
Right,
today.
so we're gonna have some mayhem happen here. So I'm afraid
Woohoo!
that the fishermen on the wharf are like,
Mayhem.
outsider, imposter, and so there's a hue and a cry put up that you hear all the way back at the church. Grown Wolf and Fiber. The elf speaks blasphemy. Rend his ears from his head. Yeah, you've got some mad town people coming at you. Definitely
Did
not
I hear
surprising.
this?
Yeah, you guys, the cry is just brought up that someone has violated the holy day. You hear something about an elf. And
Tearing their
speaking
ears off. I'm
blasphemies-
excited now. I don't know
speaking
who it is, but I'm
blasphemies.
excited.
Who could it be?
I'm assuming at this point in time I've waken up and have stepped outside.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I just see the angry
Villagers
mob
are grabbing
forming.
the pitchforks and the flaming brands, and they're heading for the docks.
Well, now it's been like the whole day I was out there, right? Because I had to roll all the way back in.
Yeah, it's been the whole day. So
So
Quarian, you have roused the ire of this this nice
Wonderful.
little fishing village. What do you do? They're tentatively getting their rage on, but they're definitely approaching. Several of them have grabbed pitchforks.
crew,
farming
load the
implements.
cannons. Prepare to fire on the dock if anyone steps foot on the gangplank. Now we can have a conversation like civilized creatures would. I know that's difficult at times for the short-lived. Here's
Okay.
the deal.
Your guys aboard, knowing they don't have cannons, but picking up what you're laying down, open some of the port side slats and start pushing whatever they've got that looks kind of, imposing out the sides.
Gold team ready. Red team ready.
Red 5 standing by.
All right, you have an angry crowd. So, Grown Wolf and Fiber, you can be part of that crowd going forward as well. Odette,
because I'm hearing we're
you're
gonna
there.
lynch an
You're
elf.
actually Odette is on the wharf, so she sees
Yeah.
this happening as well.
Are we all kind of like meet cuting as parts of this parts of this?
Or maybe
riot
you're in the
sort of
crowd
thing?
going, I don't know who he is.
No, see, I don't know who it is, but I'm excited
am-
because I'm thinking we're gonna lynch somebody, but I don't know it's one of our crew, so I'm like all happy, like heading that way. You know?
I'm watching it happen. I'm feeling a little guilty because I did tell Corian to go into the water.
Just the littlest bit though.
Ooh.
You
He
know,
was
like
I'm gonna go into the
one
forest.
mouse
I'm
worth.
like, no.
All right. So, Corian, you've bought yourself a little bit of time, but until cannons start actually, the longer it goes without a cannon actually firing, the more you're going to lose that edge.
I will reach over to my longboat
Okay.
and perhaps one of the oars has some kelp or something that it picked up as I rowed myself out of that island,
Mm-hmm.
and I will hold it up and show it to them and say, "Behold, I have communed with Osperum's representatives here this day."
I'm part of the crowd, and I'm just like, oh no.
right. This
There's like bits of like dead people
Right.
and ships on it.
Yeah, so this does get a little reaction in the crowd. He's been to the kelp forest. No one goes there. There's some talk going on. Eventually, Harper, not Harper. He's asleep still. Harmon,
that's what I should've yelled
Basil, and
first.
Lothar are coming out on the dock, and they're hearing what you're saying. Harmon, voice booming through the crowd, says, "He is a false prophet. Today is the goddess's day of rest. None may enter the sea. He has transgressed against our one promise to the goddess to save her children of the sea. Listen not to this liar." So he's trying to sway the crowd. You're
Sure.
trying to sway the crowd. Now he's got a lot of weight because a lot of the villagers believe in him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll a d4 here, okay? This is how many rounds you have to make a case before the crowd is going to understand there are no cannons. You've got no backup,
Sure.
and it's just words.
Hey,
So
thanks for that
round
extra
one,
time there.
Wait, am I there too?
you're all there. You're all there.
Okay.
NPC is probably the one furthest from the dock since he's coming from the house.
Getting in your boat, Corian.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, totally.
Corian.
I can
There's my
help. Just
cannons.
I've been known to be slightly persuasive sometimes, so I can help too potentially.
So, Corian,
I
you can
also-
see your friends in the crowd. Grunwolf, you had something?
Yeah, I could cast friends.
Weird that you have that spell, friend. And
I know. It's
Weird. Weird.
a good coincidence.
Do I arrive on the scene as he's like showing off the kelp and stuff?
Sure. Yeah. And I'm going to say
I'm
you're a little further
gonna-
back because you're coming from further inland.
So I'm near like the back of the crowd. I'm just gonna start whispering to people like, I don't think any normal person would be able to take something from there. I'm pretty sure like someone, he didn't say that she spoke to him. She said
Okay.
that a messenger of hers spoke to him. Like, this kind of makes sense. We should listen to him.
Make me a charisma check.
That's what I was afraid of hearing.
I like it though. The whisper campaign from the back. I like it.
Okay, I gotta
Always-
get
always depend on the whispers.
11 or lower.
Now,
What was that about bits being an auto
okay.
success?
You guys have a couple of auto successes. I'm going to say a couple of re-rolls there too. Is what it looks like.
nice.
So
Alright,
you can just
yeah.
call
So-
auto
And then
success if you want, but
is-
you can roll first.
I
think we're
I
gonna
say
roll
my 100 bits go
first.
to
Yeah.
his auto success.
I'm gonna auto succeed. I rolled a 17. I'm gonna auto succeed
It's in-
that
it's
So-
in
instead.
So what this is going to do is you're building a pool here, okay? And the idea is you need to get more than what Harmon can achieve. All right. So
Mhm.
NPCs helped you a little bit. Does anyone else want to do something in the crowd?
I am going to cast friends.
Okay. So how large of how many
10,
people does that affect?
It eyes of all creatures within the area of effect that fail saving throws, and it's 10 plus 10 AOE per caster level.
Mhm.
So it's 10 plus 20. Is it at level 2, or is it 10 plus 12 at level 2?
Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a single roll for the crowd. Okay.
Okay.
If this succeeds, it is going to give you points towards your persuasive
My
argument.
personal charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it is a to save versus magic.
Yeah.
All right, they're going to succeed.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I would
Are
like
we
to
close
cast...
enough where I see who
Well,
it
wait,
is now?
what did Jeff just drop 100 bits for? Was that a success on friend?
Was that a
Oak
reroll?
made me feel guilty.
Was
That's
that
an
a
auto
reroll?
success, I
Okay.
guess.
I don't know.
Let's
I don't
bank
know.
that
I'm
because
just-
friends
okay.
only helps me. Let's bank that for
All right.
somebody else that's got a more interesting idea.
Okay,
Sure.
we'll bank that. So Thiber, what were you saying?
Are we close enough where I see who it actually is now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And the crowd looks like they're going to lynch him, correct?
Yeah, well, right now there's kind of a standoff. They're actually listening to him because of the fear of cannon, which you know you don't have.
I'm like, cool, we've got cannons.
I did re-outfit the ship.
Okay, then I'm gonna because as soon as if they start turning hostile, I'm gonna try to impose my will with the crown.
Ooh, why don't you
My
go ahead and
lead
do that?
dice.
Because they are largely
Yeah.
hostile. It's just like this is a brief standoff. So if you want to do that, go for it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna like bellow out, stand down.
The only
He's
thing
one
I
of
have,
mine."
the only thing I have left is when it comes back around to me, I'm going to be like, "Bring forth Harper."
Oh my god.
there's
And,
okay. So
My big charisma check.
Yep.
Oh shit, I made it.
yeah, it's a low success though. Do you want to take that or do you want to take an auto success, which is going to be a higher success? Up to you. You can bank it and take this one.
We might need it for something else. I'll take that.
Take
I'm
this one.
proud that I
Alright.
actually made a check under 5.
All right, tell you what, you are going to a little bit more than half the crowd. You're able to sway, and what you told them to stand down. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I'm being intimidating, trying to threaten, basically.
Okay, very good. So about half the crowd is will pause, but if the rest of the crowd decides that they're going to rush it, it might override this. This is a lot of minds for you to be able to sway, but for right now, you've got roughly half the crowd is giving him the benefit of the doubt. Odette, you look like you've got something.
I'm going to focus on the person who Corian is like debating against.
Okay.
Like, what's the name of the person who's leading everybody?
Harmon.
Harmon.
Yeah.
It is Harmon. I'm gonna cast Charm Person on him.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
Okay.
Knickers is on him too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have to roll. I think you have to roll.
Yeah, I do. Just need to check something.
Can we choose to auto succeed?
I don't think it works
I
like
think
that
we
because
just-
Yeah.
Bert's
yeah, we
rolling.
just-
You're out.
Yeah, don't give Bert an auto success.
All right, so he did succeed.
Okay.
All right. Good shot though. Good shot.
I'm gonna do so badly. So badly.
All right. So Thyber's done something. Gromos done something. NPC's done something. Okay. So you haven't done something in the first of your 3 rounds. So Quarian, what do you want to say, or what do you want to do?
Whoever's closest to the house,
That would be NPC. Yep.
because it's not that far. How
It's
big
not.
are the squares?
It's not.
You
think
could
that-
run straight through.
I think the squares are like 20 feet, but it's not that far.
I say, if you will not listen to me, then you should listen to the oldest and wisest of your clergy of Osperum. NPC, bring forth Harper from the house.
Okay.
And quick.
Quick.
Real fast.
All right, cool.
All right. So Harmon is coming through the crowd, heading towards you. People are parting in front of him like
I feel
water.
like Harmon is son of Harper.
Yes. And he has in one of his arms, he has looks like a holy book of some sort. It's got shellfish and crustaceans on the outside to make it properly seaworthy. But he's coming forward and says, "Blasphemer!" He points his fingers at you. He's shouting to the crowd. He's like, "Long have you known that the elves to the north have sent their spies, those sent to create scandal and strife amongst us. Here is one now, speaking against your goddess, bringing her wrath. How many of you will die tomorrow on these waves?"
I've never even been to the north. Elves to
well,
the
he's-
north.
Is
he's
is
just
Harmon
very
just
funny.
gesticulating wildly while he's doing this?
He is.
I'm gonna be keeping a close nearby eye to make sure no tiny insects go flying off. of him.
Nice. So he's walking forward as he's yelling out to the crowd. He succeeded his charisma roll, so he's got some of the crowd swayed to him. So let's say next action, NPC, you're able to get to the house. Harper is awake now and looks very confused. It's like, this isn't the woods.
Nope, but we need you to be a prophet right now more than anything. And there's an emergency at the dock, and Harmon is inciting a
What's
riot.
that? You're
and-
having a spiritual emergency.
Yes, I
Let
need
me
the
tell
prophet
you
of
about the good
Osperum.
word of Osperum.
Come
Sit
tell
down,
the people.
son.
No. I drag him out. I literally am like, nope, these people need to hear the good word.
All right. So
I am a human fighter, and I will drag that old man.
Yep, I'm just like, come on, Grandpa, let's go.
all right. So it's going to take you the next round to get there. So you'll arrive on the 3rd round before the
All right.
the wave here breaks. All right. So again, Oak, you are straining to try and you're holding back. You can feel each of the minds you're attached to. And it is a chore to you're holding them at bay, but you're successful so far. You've got a splitting headache. This is worse than taking an axe to the forehead. So we'll leave Quarian for last. So this is the 2nd round. It's still kind of a stalemate. Now it's not so much because of the fear of possible cannon. Half the crowd is determined to not do anything because of Thyber. But Harmon is making very persuasive arguments to the rest of the crowd. NPC, you're engaged. Odette, you want to try anything else? No. You're gonna stand back. Are you
I really
disavowing
shouldn't.
now?
I really shouldn't. I shouldn't.
Okay.
Or
And
maybe
Harper
make it
that's
Rise, you
work.
can
actually
have
what-
all the
Do it.
lice
Do it.
jump off on other people
Do
and
it.
distract them.
I can only do it one at a time, unfortunately.
You, this one, you, this one, you, this one.
I need to get Snickers to be the leader of the lice and like
Oh.
take your lice people to other on individual.
I have
I don't wanna-
tamed.
I don't want
Worship
to
me, please.
metagame, but Snickers is on Harmon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Snickers is on Harmon.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Growing you doing?
I feel like I've already overstepped metagaming boundaries.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Do you
Bert? What
have
was the
anything
last
you
thing?
want to do?
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if you're calling on me or not.
Mhm.
Okay. So yes, I'm going to stick close behind him. And be prepared to cast sleep if stuff is
Ooh.
about to go real wrong.
Okay. Well, right now he's in a shouting match to gain control of the crowd. Right now it looks like it's an even split.
Okay. And I saw that Quarian sent for Harper,
Yes.
right? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be ready to cast sleep in
All right,
case
sure.
stuff goes real wrong.
Yeah, so you're gonna just wait for that then. All right, so
Yeah.
Quarian, again, you look like roughly half the crowd is at least pausing. You saw NPC run to the houses or to your house.
From the spiel that Harper gives by rote,
Uh-huh.
did he say anything of the 1 day a year of no boating or anything?
Well, you do remember the passage where because she is also the goddess of everything that lives in the sea, that her kindred are not, fishing them out as bad. You have to let the population regrow, that sort of thing.
So that's going to be the crux of my round of my speech this round, is that the holy day is so that you do not go out there, or so that land-based creatures do not go out there and overfish and overcollect to the point of extinction, of decimation, of destruction. She does not say no one can go out on the water. She says, do not take from the sea this day.
Okay,
Ooh,
you're
I
gonna.
like that
It's all right.
sentence.
Yeah, you're gonna quote verse to them. A
Quote
lot of
verse
what you
back
took
to
was
Harmon.
from Harper.
He's picking up some levels in cleric.
Yeah.
Can I table
Apparently.
talk before he ends that statement?
Can you do what? Sorry.
Can I table talk before he ends that statement in his turn? I was gonna say maybe you want to mention you also gave an offering to her in the process. I don't know if that would matter or not, but I feel that that might be important information that you might.
Yeah, sure. So as part of that, but instead on this holy day, I have given something back to the sea that was taken by land dwellers.
Okay.
And so wait,
To add some oomph.
Okay.
I love as Corian finishes saying that, I shout, "Snickers, find a hole!"
Ooh,
Sticker
gross.
dives into an ear canal.
Ew.
That's what I want. Like, so
We were hoping to-
as Harmon is getting ready to say something, I want Snickers to cause a distraction that makes it very hard for Harmon to
Yeah.
be.
So Harmon is
charismatic.
gonna rebut this. Well, first, Quarian, go ahead and make me a charisma check.
Charisma
Again.
check, sure. I don't know how long this luck is going to hold out with an 11 charisma. I'm edgy.
Ooh,
Ooh,
yeah.
a 19.
Yep.
If
You don't make
choose
any
to
ground on that.
succeed, we have
Use the
some
auto success.
banked auto
Use the auto
succeed.
success we save.
Oh,
Auto success.
You can
There's
take the
only
auto
one
success.
turn left,
Yeah.
so I would do it. I don't mind.
there is one? There is
Yeah,
one?
there
I
is
Yes.
think there was, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I better use it then.
Okay. Makes it a success. So people listen. It's like, well, I don't think the scriptures actually say you can't go into the water. It does just say you can't take. Yeah, so now that starts some comments going on. Unfortunately, Harmon made his charisma check, even with a flea going into his ear.
Man.
Mouse. How dare
And this
you.
time he's getting berating to the crowd.
Oh, I'm so confused.
He's like, how dare you question the true prophets of the goddess? Here on the land, Osperum has granted to us the divine right to interpret her words. Listen not to this outsider, this intruder. All right, so he is swaying the crowd back again. Third round, Harper shows up.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
at the top of the round, do I hear the tail end of his speech?
Yes. Yep.
So I'm gonna be like, how about we let the true prophet speak on this? And I gesture grandly a la Will Smith to Harper, and I kind of like get really close to Harper to his ear, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, I need you to have a moment of clarity, and I need you to talk these people and talk this situation down so we can get to the root of this. I know you're in there. We want to help you. For the love of Osprey.
Bert doesn't get to roll for the NPC. We do.
Uh,
He's ours.
oh,
right
no,
now.
this is actually good. Odette, you'll love this one. So Harmon turns around, stares at Harper, points his finger, and he's about to just unleash something. And then he just goes, he grabs his ear and drops to the ground. He's like, ah! Starts screaming.
I yell, "It's a sign!"
Harper starts like walking forward. He's not saying anything. He's just walking forward towards Quarian. But the crowd is like parting like water in front of them. A lot of people are kneeling down. So he stands right next to you, Quarian, and he's like, "Oh, you're the arrow guy." And he looks around at the crowd. Why are they so mad?
Because I went out into the water and offered a gift to Osperum, and she told me that you must find your own way back to a right mind, and that there are false prophets in your temple's walls.
He turns around and he says, "Harmon, my cannon? No. There's an easy. He goes out of the crowd. There's a misunderstanding here. There's a very easy way to handle this. Please, everyone, calm down.
Throw
The
them
true
on the
blessed of Osprey have her blessings, her bounty. You," he points to like this is a fisherman. He looks like he's been attacked by something. He's got really bad skin on one side of his face. "Come here." And he puts his hand on his face and says, "By the power and privilege that Osprey has granted to me, be healed." There's a flash of light and the man's healed. "Only the true receivers of Osprey's bounty can control her powers, to be granted her powers to use on her benefit. Harmon, stand up. Show this unwise man that you are a true prophet of the goddess."
Yes, Harmon.
He
Stand
looks
up and do it.
scared.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that really big, imposing cleric that we met last night in this crowd
He better
anywhere?
not be.
Nope, they're from the other church. They stay away from the
Okay.
dwarfs.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
just,
Not
just
getting involved in that
checking.
shit.
Nice though. Well, come on, Harmon. Here, this the little boy here seems to have scuffed his leg. This is simple. Heal this boy. Harmon
Yes,
clutches
Harmon.
the book,
Heal that boy.
and he's like, well, I didn't come prepared to get my ear to give the blessings of the goddess this day." He clutches the book and he starts kind of looking through it. He's like,
Said that.
But boy, rise to your feet.
Snickers deeper.
Deeper.
Go for gold.
Go for brain matter. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Snickers MVP.
By the light and power of the goddess. Ah! He falls. He's clutching his ears. Ah!
It's
Yeah,
a
it was an
sign,
eardrum.
I say.
That was an eardrum.
Harper's like, it seems that our brother is having some difficulties today. Basil, please stand in for him. Heal this poor boy. That looks like that probably hurts a little. I mean, it's a flesh wound, but come on. Basil looks up and says, "Of course, Harper." He takes a step forward, pivots, and runs through the crowd.
Get him! That's your plan,
Get
right?
him!
Grab that man. I scream as authoritatively as
So
possible.
describe how he's
Muscles.
so he's jetting away right now.
He's running. Thyber,
Okay,
you still
sweet.
have control of roughly half the crowd.
Okay, yeah, they're going to surround him.
All right. Yeah, so they
Surround that
link
man.
arms and they keep him from running through. They're
Red Rover,
they're
Red
like,
Rover.
not quite sure why they're doing it, but it's like it seems like the thing to do. That headache is even more severe. Can you make me a con check?
Yeah, that I can do.
Hmm.
Well, I have a better chance at doing
Yeah.
it. Oh shit! I shouldn't have opened my mouth. I had a 16.
Well, there's a couple of re-rolls, so if you want to re-roll it, you can use them up.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Low success, but it works. You're holding on. You're on the verge of unconsciousness. Like you got a little bit of blood coming out of your nose and ears, but you're holding on. Yeah, lick. Blood. Okay, guys. So the crowd has now they're very confused, and so is Harper. He's like, he looks over to you, Corian. I don't understand.
I'm going to be like, I threw a bag of red pearls. Well, I gave a bag of red pearls to Osperum's representative in order to find out what is going on with you. Those that you think are truthful are not. Perhaps you should go into the crowd and show them the true power of Osperum. And then I walk away from the gangplank.
Yeah, you step back.
Like,
I had no idea. I felt the church was in good hands. I had a calling from Osperum. I was to.
it is in your hands. It's good.
I was to. What was I to do?
I was nearby. I'm gonna say the true power of Osram.
Yeah, right. He just kind of walks forward, slaps the kid on the knee, and it heals. He's like, "Are there any who have been lacking help and treatment from Osprum's church?" He's swarmed as people are like, we've been giving offerings every week. We've had no help. They're like complaint after complaint is being told in front of Harper. He looks over at Corian with okay. Looks over at you, NPC.
I'm gonna
Some help?
point to I'm gonna point to Harmon. I'm gonna point to Harmon and go.
Oh, a
And that's that.
lynching. I think. Well, I mean.
No. Teach him a
Exile!
lesson.
Exile to the sea!
Show him the chaos of Osperum and let the true glory be shown to her worshippers.
Worshippers of Osperum, please be kind. Be kind. This is an offense against Osperum and the city. I understand. We should call for the magistrates and the governor to handle this. Looks over to NPC. Well, is that okay? I don't.
The church takes care of its own.
And yeah, so you yell that, and some of the people are like, "Lynch him! Drown him! Make
I'm
the
going
concrete
to-
boots."
I'm gonna walk over to Odette and be like, "You might want to recall Snickers."
Snickers come.
And then I'm gonna go back over where. Yeah.
I want to note that I still have that wand that he
Yes.
was casting with last
Alright.
night, so I'm gonna like go through the crowd and like give him his wand and be like, do what needs to be done.
You're weaponizing him. This is intense.
All right, I think
Not kill him.
I think we'll break
Like-
there. We're past time, so he wants to call for basically the government of this town to settle this. People are now frothed up to want blood. That seems like a good place to end it.
Blood in the water!
Thiber's still conscious, always a good thing. Yeah, so we'll end it there. Dion, anything you want to plug in the outro here? You go right ahead.
Not really much. If you guys want to check me out playing games once in a while on my channel, Substance is Used on Twitch. Still planning some other things on the back burner, but it's still in planning stages, so nothing to really announce yet.
Sounds good. Jin and Friendin, if somebody can drop the Kickstarter link again for the zine that you guys are working on.
On it.
Yep.
Gone.
Twice.
What is it exactly? What kind of game
So it's a go ahead.
No, sure. Since you did it the first time, I'll do the second. Kill Today, Die Tomorrow is a loving homage to classic Italian spaghetti westerns from the 60s and 70s. It's fast paced and D6 based, and the artwork and layout are what Jen and I are responsible for. And what we've seen of the content so far is really cool. So we're excited to contribute.
And all you need are D6s to play it.
Yep.
So you only need D6s.
Cool. Oak, anything?
You
got
can
a
catch
stream.
me on Twitch and Twitter, Urience, Uraence, playing here on Tuesdays, and then Friday nights and Saturday nights at midnight, I'm playing some 5e games. And that's all that I got going.
And what does the blasphemer have for us?
The blasphemer who speaks with the representatives of the gods is Christopher, otherwise known as All the RPGs on Twitch, and one of two Old Guys games. You can find our stuff at 2OG Games on Goodman Games official web store and on Drive-Thru RPG. You can find me on twitch.tv/alltherPGs tomorrow night for Starcrawl, weird Space Weirdos in Weird Space, I think it's called. Space Weirdos in Weird Space. It's basically DCC in space. And then I think I'm off until Saturday when I show up on the Liching Hour for the Apocalypse Roadshow. And then Sunday, Bert?
I'm not sure. It's Valentine's Day, so I know
That's right.
Chuck at least is needing to not be in on that one. I might run something, but it's not going to be Shadowrun this Sunday. But it may be something. We'll see who's available.
All right.
All right.
And then other Wednesdays, you can find me on my channel playing Mischief Golden Piracy, which is a pirate game in DCC, and on Goodman Games Official on Thursday for Swashbucklers, also a pirate game in DCC.
Cool.
That's all I got.
And I'm Bert. Check out my podcast at bluemagic.com, BLUMAGIK. And I stream here on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays is the thing so far. So until next time, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Have a good one.
Bert.